style. I like to be able to listen to all the different pieces in whatever order I want to. Sometimes you want it in one long file. If you want to record some concept album that really is intended to be played in order and is not intended to be shuffled, and you don't want to have this iTunes shuffling it for you without intending to, just record it as one long track. That's okay. It's your collection. You can do it any way you want to. I prefer to split things into tracks. Now, an example was, I got this book one for instance called This Was Radio, and in there it has some original radio broadcasts from the 30s and 40s on 2 audio compact discs. And there it is there. It's got something from Amos and Andy, it's got Truth or Consequences, it's got Abbott and Costello's Who's on First routine, it's got all kinds of stuff on there. So it's great, I can put those things on iTunes and listen to them. Well, not exactly that well, because when I import it, and it grabs the track names off of the internet, it has 2 tracks. One for one CD and one for the other CD. And look at this one, it's 53 minutes long. And so if I want to get which of those programs I'm going to listen to in there, I don't know. I could take the tools I guess it's both this one, but I can take the tools I just used and split this into all the different tracks, label them, and when I want to listen to the Abbott and Costello routine alone, or I want to listen to the Truth or Consequences program alone, I can do that without having to listen through the whole thing. It was just a bad way of making a CD, in my opinion, originally. As mentioned, you fission, you can auto-define the tracks if possible, you can spread out that waveform to see things better. One of the ways I made use of this Audio.Hijack Pro this past summer was, again, getting back to WLS, which I grew up with. They are a news talk station now, but on the Memorial Day this year and last year, they had something called the Big 89 Rewind, and they got some of the DJs that used to be on the station all day long. They just played their music again. So I recorded that whole day, and I didn't have to babysit the computer the whole time because it was a QuickTime feed. So I just got QuickTime to start. I had a timer set for Audio.Hijack Pro to start the thing at 5 a.m. when it started. I didn't have to be awake for it. And I had split it every so often so it wasn't one big file. But using that, I was able to record the whole thing, process it, and now I can listen to that whole day of these guys that I listened to when I was a kid, an hour of their show at a time. Plus, I was able to cut all the stinking commercials, so I don't have to listen to commercials which they repeated endlessly through the day, the same darn commercials. So it's just a nice way to do it. And I've already kind of talked about that. Importing it to iTunes is fairly straightforward. You just have to drag your files onto the iTunes icon, and iTunes then will import it. Now, when you've got it that way, if it's the bit rate you want, you're done. You just have to make sure the tracks are labeled the way you want them to be. You might have to check to see the genre is what it should be. I encourage you, if you want to have an organized collection, it's just like organizing all your books. If you just stick them all up on the shelf and they didn't have any labels on them, it's going to be hard to tell what's where. You want to have a label, you want a book jacket on that book, you want to have labels on it, you want to have something so you can find them. What order are they in? Are they going to be in alphabetical order by title, by the book, by an author? You know, you have to decide how you're going to organize it. So as many tracks as you can fill in without being too tedious. It'll help you with your organizing. It'll help you with setting up playlists. Now, organizing. Everybody has their own way of cleaning their house, cleaning their rooms, whatever. And iTunes will organize these things for you if you want to. That's the default. And that's fine if you don't care. If you want iTunes to take care of it, that's perfect. If some people have already got their stuff set up the way they want, named the way they want to, and they were really ticked off when they started using iTunes, and iTunes imported everything and renamed it all. They did it its own way. They didn't like that at all. So you have to decide if you want to use a copy of the library. You know, first of all, don't forget to delete the original, but who's going to do the organizing? There's several ways people do this. You can organize your music through the unorganized and clueless method. So this kind of person doesn't organize and doesn't pay attention where things are going, still looking for the any key on their computer. It's just a person, hopefully they've got it set up so it just does it where it's supposed to, and they don't know where it's going to go, they don't care where it's going to go. You can have somebody who is unorganized, but they're knowledgeable. You know, they really don't want to have iTunes do it for them, but they kind of know how to find things. And he's the don't worry, be happy kind of guy. So, but he knows how to search things in the Finder. He needs Spotlight.